Hi, I'm Vanessa Ramirez, and I'll be talking about the ethics of AI. We're dealing with a massive paradox right now. On one hand, we're terrified of a future where machines become like gods. On the other hand, the magic of AI is basically humans behind the curtain. In the first video, we see a conference by Professor Stuart Russell talking about the ethics of AI. He brings up the gorilla problem. Basically, if gorillas are stronger and tougher than us, but we control them because we are smarter, how can we not think that's gonna happen with AI? I mean, if we basically make a machine that's smarter than us, how do we think we'll stay in control? Russell called this the risk of success. If we actually succeed in building a super intelligent machine without fixing our safety protocols first, it might be the biggest event in human history, but also the last. Because once we hand over the keys to something far more superior in intelligence, how can we assume we're gonna get it back? He also talks about how we're building it. He makes this comparison to the Wright brothers, who are the inventors of the airplane, and how they understood aerodynamics before they built it. But the video, Russell mentions how we are building this, the AI and deep learning, LMs, but we're doing the opposite. We're building this without knowing really how they work or understanding how they work. We're building what he calls massive black boxes with trillions of parameters, not really having the comprehension of how it works. So Russell argues this, and it leads to two nightmares. The first one is where we go out like Hollywood Terminator style, where AI takes over. The second one is more of like a WALL-E scenario, which AI starts doing everything for us to the point where we become useless, like the humans in WALL-E. I think this is actually really scary. I have talked to my friends before about this because I was thinking about how AI is used for a lot of explicit things and against people's consent, right? So I forgot what I was gonna say, but I was thinking of this and I was enraged because I was like, how are we building these things and not really have something to regulate them, And I think Russell kind of argues the same thing. Like, we're so excited, or like we want to get ahead with all of this, that we forget this could take over us and take our autonomy from us and leave us basically useless. Now, where we're worried about all of this and AI being too smart, the second video taught us the reality behind AI, and it's actually a bunch of humans in a room. That's it. We see this documentary about a industry in Madagascar and how it shatters this of the autonomous machine. We see AI, ChatGPT, Gemini as this magical machine, but we actually see that the black box reference isn't filled with magic code, but it's actually filled with people. It is an army of helping hands. These helping hands make sure it's trained, it's qualified for it to do the work we expect it to do. There are thousands of people, qualified IT graduates, sitting in offices in places like Madagascar, manually labeling data. They're training it, they're clicking on pictures of swans and identifying bags and checking receipts and basically training the algorithm. But the duality here is tough to process, because on one hand, it very much seems like exploitation, I'm not gonna lie. It looks very illegal, very sketchy. Like, we have people working on precarious contracts without social protection. But then you look at someone like Elena, the worker mentioned in the report, and you can see that she makes 120 euros a month, which might not seem like a lot, but for a place like Madagascar, that's actually above the national average. So she has a comfortable life, she lives well. So is it exploitation? Is it a lifeline? Is it digital colonialism? I guess it depends, but it's complicated, and I'm not someone like a professor of ethics to be like, oh yes, this, whatever. And now, looking at this as someone from a marketing or like the future marketing world or perspective, I'll say there's an even darker side of this, and it's the deception. So the report or the documentary actually mentions how these companies, or there are companies selling high-tech AI security systems or stuff like that, where the client thinks that AI is doing the work for them, but there's actually just like a guy in Madagascar checking cameras and doing everything remotely. So it's not technology, it's deception and lying, like you're selling fake stuff. And if you're in business or in marketing, such as my career, this is a massive risk because we're spending so much time talking about ethical supply chains for physical products. Like, when we buy from Shein or Sarah, like, who made your clothes? Are they being exploited? Do they have humanly work surroundings? Like, that was very wrongly worded, but I'm sorry. Like, do they have actually good working conditions? But we never ask who made our algorithm, who made the chat we're using, or the Gemini we're using, the one we're exploiting for it to give me the right answers to my homework. And yeah, that's just a PR disaster waiting to happen. Big companies like Amazon have actually blacklisted Madagascar from their places of work, because even if they're not the ones doing it, they don't want to have like any connection to that place that could get them blacklisted in any way. Ultimately, whether we're talking about a super intelligent robot or a data laborer in Madagascar, the problem is the same. We're trying to remove the human element to make things more efficient, but we ultimately can't. The black box, it's human. The solution isn't to hide the fact, but embrace it. To build technology that respects human autonomy and human labor. But that's just my take on it. Thank you.